And good evening, everyone. Welcome. It is race number 2 in the Cone Racing League. This is the Cone Racing Academy, and we are here in Russia for the Sochi Grand Prix. I am always happy to announce I'll be joined alongside by Steiny this evening. However, there is one more. We're in for a bit of a treat this evening. We're going to have a 3-man comms box. But Steiny, I'll firstly say hello to you, and you can introduce our new comms.
Yeah, wonderful. It is an absolute pleasure. I'm very, very excited here to be here again. Today we are in Russia, Sochi time it is this time. And as usual, I do have a few information for all of you about very exciting. It is so crucial not to get penalties during the race. But Russia itself, the very first race started in 2014, which Lewis Hamilton took the first victory as well as the first Formula 1 driver on track. But as well, not talking about Russia track itself, but more of the designer, which is, I think, very worth mentioning. It is Hermann Tilke, and I'm very happy to say that he is a German race engineer, racing driver, and also now a circuit designer. He has designed multiple circuits and started over with the Red Bull Ring, as we all know, in Austria, and also Abu Dhabi, but Sochi for today's race as well. However, we have another commentator as well here, Lynx Aviate. I do apologize for pronouncing your name wrong, but I think you can just say a few words about yourself. It's your stage now.
Well, thanks very much. It's nice to actually be here. I was in CRA for quite a bit of last season, starting half-time, then coming into full-time from reserve, and this is definitely one of the tracks you need to watch out for. Not just for the corner cutting, but it is also a very hard track to do if the rain does come down, and it is quite a lot of the time you do see a bit of rain come down here.
It could definitely be an interesting one. We have jumped on board with MUFC Harvey. He got 10th position last week, but we're going to sit on board. He was the first on his outlap, so we're going to have a little look at his first effort. He's of course had 2 purple sectors. That would make perfect sense. Seeing as there's been no other times put down yet, but a bit of a shout from last week. What an opener that we had in Bahrain. Lynx, did you watch the Bahrain race, the opening race of the season? What were your thoughts on it?
Yes, I did. That race was really good. It was really clean from all the drivers as well. There were obviously penalties, but there was nothing after the race for the stewards to pick up from. Really respectful driving from absolutely everyone on track. Hopefully we can see something again like this tonight.
Perfect. Just having a little look. Looks like Ronaldinho has not managed to set a lap, as not Michi Joy, Reverend in the pits, Hedgehog on his outlap. A little bit more from what we saw last week. Just seen a few of the races come and set times. MFC Harvey with a 133.5. Sniper Boy with a 134.281. Piero, last week's winner, he has gone and put himself on pole. So far, a little bit about last week. Then, as I carry on, we will try and jump on board with. Let's have a little look at Freefall, because Freefall was second last week, and we'll see whether or not he can match his performance this week or go one better, of course. Last week in Bahrain, what an opener, superb race. Especially probably the biggest change at the very, very end was Ryan Mills, of course, jumping ahead of Big Ben with the penalties and getting himself to his first podium on his debut, so well done him. Freefall as well, coming in with second place on the day. We're just coming round the final couple of corners. He's going to set a time free fall, and that time is going to be good enough to go to the top of the pop, so 1:31.8. At the start of today, I would have said realistically anything 1:31s is good. If anybody gets under 1:31.5, very good. And I would say sub 1:31 by the end of the session could be doable. And if we see a sub 1:31, I'll be very impressed for the academy. Put it that way.
Yes, absolutely. Just on board here with Hedgehog in the Renault, currently in Sector 1 as well, having just behind Freefall. Obviously giving a lot of space here. Hedgehog cutting some curbs perfectly to save some more time. It's very, very crucial to cut these curbs on the inside. You save a lot of time. Currently Hedgehog as one of the 2 drivers on medium. Very, very interesting to see. Is he going to be able to make it up to a high position for the race? If he doesn't, it will be very crucial for him to go to the pit straight away and to change the tires. But currently one of the toughest sections of Sochi here, the bridge, and very, very careful on the acceleration, a part that every single driver loves to see when you spin your car. And now approaching the last 2 turns currently. Looking stable, but he run out of ERS. Maybe it's something that he can look into for the future. Coming over the line, and it is a 35.3 on medium tires.
Yeah, Ronaldinho we're going to now jump on board with. He's currently on his outlap. Of course, he was fancied last week by 1 or 2 of the drivers, and he didn't quite get the outcome that I think he was looking for on the day, and did get himself into a bit of trouble during the race. And ultimately it cost him, but we'll see what he's got in the locker today as he heads towards turn 2. Of course, we can't discount turn 1, albeit that it's just a very, very slight right-hander. We're going across the plaza turn at the moment, heading towards turn 5. And back on and flat out to the little nice turn of sections of 7, 8, 9 and 10. We're going to stay on board with him to see what lap he can do. He's on the softs at the moment. Freefall still at the top with a 1:31.8. Piero, last week's winner, though, with a 1:31.8. There is 2 hundredths between them. Less than, so no, just more than, but close enough. Definitely close enough. But that's Piero's second lap, bear in mind. So he'd have had a little bit more, or a little bit less speed, you would imagine, naturally. Anything else I'm missing around the track? Is there anything else going on? Still sat with Ronaldinho. We're just coming through Sector 3 currently.
I'm just having a look as well to see if we miss anything, but Matt Warner on P14 at the moment, just approaching the last 2 turns as well, behind Ronaldinho, both in the Racing Point, pink Racing Point. However, there will be something. He was able to make it up to P9 at the moment with a 1:33.49. But at the moment, while everything is a little bit stalling, dear Pheasant, why would you like to explain us a little bit about some changes we have now regarding Constructor?
Ooh, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I've got in a huge asterisk on my piece of paper right in front of me to mention about the constructors. Of course, after last week, we had Renault that are our current leaders on 110 points, Ferrari in second place on 92, and Williams on 78. However, I believe that figure may be changing due to the fact that we are now looking at all 4 tiers. That is the Tier 1, 2 and our brand new debutant season for Tier 3 are going to be joined up with an overall Constructors' Championship, and of course the Cone Racing Academy are going to be involved in that as well. So every point makes a difference, every position makes a difference, up and down from top to bottom. We saw just how much AlphaTauri were so strong when they had the likes of De Will and Warrior Huntsman both leading their individual championships. That definitely does do a lot for the constructors. So it'll be a big interesting season now. 4 tiers of races again. Over is it over 100 in the main chat that we have? So it's incredible. The lead keeps growing and growing and growing.
To see.
So we're going on a good pace in the right way. I'm just going to quickly shout out, however, Murphy, who got himself into P4. He said a decent lap, although he's back in the pits now. And as I said, Gautier Lefalon has jumped into P4 instead of him and pushed him down one with a 132.5. Currently 7/10 off the pace of free fall at the top. Raf Bohr puts himself into P3 in the Red Bull. We can't forget what he's done there. He's currently on an outlap to see if he can improve as well. 7 minutes to go. Currently on board with Big Ben. He has gone around turn 11 and past turn 12, which we've said before the race is arguably a turn. And then we get to the start of sector 3. So the Sharp took towards the inside of turn 13, which again is not particularly a turn, you just have to hug the inside. 14 and 15 is underneath the bridge towards 16, the sharp left you're seeing right now. Nice and easy and as close to that curb as you can to get optimal speed towards your final two turns of turn 18, and we are just about to see and witness Big Ben cover turn 19, nice and close, decent corner, and puts the third fastest lap of the race so far of qualifying.
So
wow,
close.
Jay Wills just instantly followed him over the line, who we
Wow.
didn't see, and he has put himself wow, the difference between second
So close.
is 3,000th of a second. Absolutely incredible to have that close. That's good, that's what we like to see.
Wow, it's beautiful to see the top three all on a 31.8, and so close between P2, Piero in the McLaren, followed by Jay Wills, so close behind him, just as he said, with 3,000. But a promising start here of the qualifying from the top four runner, so it's gonna be the focus will be on every single one of them, who will be able to take the victory and has to go out again. Currently Freefall and Piero, Piero's just going out on an outlap, actually preparing himself, while Freefall is still in the pit lane. He still has 5 minutes time. But I was also watching Ryan Mills doing his lap time. He was able to get up to P6 and in a 32.5.
Very, very good. So, Lynx, who have you got your eye on today? Obviously, of previous race, you've obviously said there's a few people and a few good performances. Who are you fancying? Who have you seen so far, and who do you think's the one to beat today, if there is one?
Going off of last race, there were some really good performances. Piero did really well. Freefall did really well. Jay Wills did really well before some stuff that went on in the end of qualifying in the race, and absolutely amazing job by all of the guys. It doesn't matter where they are on the grid; they're all right next to each other.
Yeah.
So I'd have absolutely anyone on the grid. It is really hard to choose, and I don't think I can choose.
No, and that's fair play. With one race down so far, it's probably hard to put a pin on who's going to get the job done already at this point in the season. But it's fair to say that Piero and Freefall were 1-2 in the end of last race, and they are 1-2 at the start of this race. So, albeit that the margin that they're at the front of affairs hereby is incredible between first and fourth. So all of them in with a shout underneath the 132. Will anyone get any lower than that? We shall see. Cod Vickers, he's in the McLaren today. He's going to get started. He joins Piero. So McLaren, if he can put a good lap in here, they will have a chance of having a solid start for the constructors. Racing Point today is Roraldinho and CRL Matt Warner. Jay Wills and MUFC Harvey accommodate the Mercedes cars today. Ferrari have Ryan Mills, last week's third place, and Crash Gaming returning once again to the CRA. we have Renault with Hedgehog 11 and Ghost Angel 1, who we are not currently on board on.
Sorry, just have to interrupt you here. Very, very crucial. If you watch Hero, he just improved his Sector 1 time by 1/10. He is currently on a very, very quick lap. Watching him going down the second DRS straight, very, very crucial to get an early exit, and now approaching the toughest section of the track, if you would ask me, cutting the curb on the right hand side, early acceleration, short shift down to third gear, getting a bit more extra rotation as owner, if we do watch some YouTuber. But very, very crucial here. I haven't seen Sector 2 time just yet, so it's going to be very, very close. It's going to be able to make up some time, exit, and he made it. He made it P1 at the moment. Piero on a 31.650, and Freefall is on a lap time as well already, and already improved as well. His second time by 1/10, very crucial as well. He is staying side early upshift. He was actually in third gear, very, very different to see compared to Piero. That was very close from almost invalidating his lap time. So just 2 more turns to see his lap time. Will he be able to beat the time? And just about so extremely close again, a 31.606. What an absolute amazing qualifying here we can witness. Beautiful qualifying so both driver, but it's not over yet. We have Jay Wills just preparing himself as well for another lap time, but I need to breathe and drink something. You take over, Danny.
So I've just jumped on board with Big Ben. He is waiting for his first go at the final shot. In fact, we'll see who else is around the track. Is there anyone just about to start?
Not to start. Ben invalidated his lap? Was Ben
no, is he just... Has he already set? Oh, I don't know, but I'm on board with Ryan Mills in the Ferrari currently. He is chasing a 132.5. Will he manage to do it? I'm pretty sure I've just seen him put a Sector 2 purple in. Has he got the pace to get himself up there and skip a position? No, he hasn't. He has put that lap in and he hasn't been able to improve on his time. Oh, did he? Sorry. Wasn't he 132.5? Has he not just gone at 132.3? Maybe I missed that. I'm sorry if I did. Right, who else? Big Ben. It has invalidated. He's going to stay out. He's going to have another throw at the dice with 9 seconds to go. Nearly went a little bit too deep into that last corner. If he'd have invalidated that, it was curtains. And we're going to stay on board and see whether or not Big Ben has what it takes in the final lap. Qualifying is over. 18 minutes is done, if we can possibly believe how quickly qualifying sometimes goes, but it's a longer track, over a minute and a half to get around it. And today I thought I'd see a sub 130,
Jay Wills just approaching last turn. Is he going to be able to match the time? No, he wasn't. He was able to improve by just a fraction of a tenth, but not enough to get into P2. Piero still on P2 here in front of Jay Wills. Unlucky for Ben, who invalidated his first lap time. Or is he on a fast lap at the moment? It does look like he needs to improve his time. Has a nice slipstream here from the McLaren driver in front of him.
Is this going to be a problem? I think the McLaren driver is going to be going for it. Oh, this could be a problem. He could catch him, Hopefully the McLaren puts in a decent bit of pace on the track. He's gone really wide and he's lost control a little bit there, Big Ben. The back end you just saw flap around, but he's still okay. He can finish this track. He can finish this lap. Is he going to be hindered a little bit? He's gone on the inside. He's backed out. And he will not improve. Big Ben is happy with where he is. So I don't know who else we're even looking at this point. Cod Vickers? JJ Cod Vickers? No, he's done.
That is it. Everyone is in the pits. I think Big Ben was just struggling too much with the dirty air from the McLaren driver in front of him. Very, very unfortunate for him to see. But we can now confirm the top 10 driver. We can actually confirm the entire grid, but the top 10 driver, Freefall once again just about making it to P1 here in Russia. Looks very promising, but Piero is just behind him. It looks like a very, very close battle for the victory. Jay Wills on P3, and we are very pleased to see Rev Bolt on P4 in the Red Bull, followed by Big Ben and Ray Mills on P6. Gautier Le Felon. Oh, how do you pronounce the name? I'm not 100% sure. Just in front of Mr. Murphy himself.
Yeah, if you put a little accent on it, it sounds better. Gautier Le Felon.
I will take the name and I work on the name during my night shift.
Oh, God. Right, there we go. As you can see on your screen, free fall once again. P1 with a 131.6, great lap from him. Piero 1987 in the McLaren. Last week's winner is sat in P2 again. I think he was P2 last week. In P3, Jay Wills in the Mercedes with a 131.8. Raf Bo also under 132, and Big Ben under 132, and the rest with Ryan Mills in 6th. Gautier Le Felon, Murphy, Sniper, Crash, and then from then it was Ronaldinho and Co after P10. Here we are. Oh, race 2 in Sochi. I love this track. I know we've got it on Thursday as well, so
absolutely.
I'm gonna enjoy watching this. I'm gonna learn a little bit from it. You know what's the
crucial part about this track, Lynx? What is your impression now in the race? Now you struggle with a bit more fuel. You struggle with some dirty air. What is it you would focus on in the race?
For me, it'd be more of the technical parts of the circuit and not using up all of your ERS, because the straights are really, really good to grab a nice hold onto your competitors, to put a nice move on the inside, or you can even see moves on the outside, going into turn 2, and then is a really crucial exit out of turn 2 to make the most out of turn 3, the long left-hander, to try and get the track position going into the technical section. We're just looking at the chat as well. We have Reverend Melvin, who got disconnected, and he's asking for an invite back.
I'll do this straight away.
We've got a few people in the chat supporting different people. Ronaldinho has a few people.
He's just DSQ'd Ronaldinho, sorry to butt in there, but he's had to go back to the grid because it looks like himself and Hedgehog have had contact, and of course that means you're going to start this race, you're going to be sat on that grid a long time. Unfortunately, it's going to be 3/4 of a minute because it's a minute and a half to get round, and even, well, in fact it's going to be even longer because they're going slower, so that is going to cost him. Is there anything else? What else is happening in the media world?
Just to remind Reverend Melvin, okay, he joined now during the formation lap already.
Just hopefully he can get back into his car in time. We saw an issue in Tier 3 when I was commentating that. We had one or two people, I think Craigo82 was one of them. He managed to get in the car before the start, for his clutch was stuck, and hopefully we don't see an issue like that again.
Yes, and also hopefully we won't have any issue with the game itself. We do know that the game likes to have some bugs here and there if you do run the formation lap, so let's hope for the very best here for everyone. But every driver is warming up on the lap, on the track itself, warming up those tires. We see some different tires as well here, right, Danny?
Yep, it's going to be interesting. I'm just going to get everything back up on the screen for you now, so we can see. I've just realised I haven't enabled everything, so we'll have a little look at intervals, we'll have a look at positional change over the first lap. But the tyres and the decision for the tyres is going to be interesting. I personally, we haven't really touched on strategy, but soft mediums is well doable. 10 laps of softs, 17 of mediums. I would also say the same with hards. It all depends on whether or not we see a safety car, in my opinion. If that happens to be in turn 2, no one be so surprised. If every wing stays intact in turn 2, I will be very, very impressed. I will give them that credit. So we are at the end of our formation lap. We see at the top of our screen the lights, which are not yet there. Hopefully we don't have a problem based upon what we already know. Here we go, the lights are actually on their way off. There we have the 5th red light, and they're away. And Piero doesn't get a great loss. We're on board with Rafpo, tries to see a little bit of an inside route, but J. Wills closed the doors. Piero from the other side closed the door. Freefall is still our current lead, as we say. There's a massive crash on the... Oh, that is brutal. Who is that? It's Ryan Mills. Last week's number 3 is in the Ferrari, and he is smashed into the wall. There is... there's more going on. What can you see on track at the moment? There's 2 more just gone. Severe collision. Reverend Melvin, Mishi Joy, severe collision. Mean Man, has he been caught up in that? CRL Murphy is at the back of affairs. Oh my word, I don't know what car to actually look at the moment.
We have a safety car. We have a safety car.
Wow, safety car's out. Holy moly. Why wasn't I was waiting for that for ages. Or it already came out. Maybe I just missed it as usual. I was probably looking at that yellow car at the back. The Renault.
Always gets us commentators sometimes, as we did experience as well a very fun race to watch back from last season, Abu Dhabi, with the safety cars. However, we did have a couple of drivers who spun, and it's let's have a look if they have any sort of damage. I can't see anything on Ronaldinho, and Murphy has a little... Does he have some damage? No, he does not. But Mean Man Moody, he doesn't have an front wing at all. So very, very unfortunate for him. Currently in P19, followed by Ryan Wills.
2 things. Can one of you please invite Reverend Melvin back? He seems to be getting some connection problems and he's left the session again. Links, if you could have a little look on the penalties, please, and just see who's got what there. Is everybody on the same penalties? Has anybody got more or less based upon the problems that they're obviously having? Me and Moody, look at the state of his wing. Oh, mate.
At the moment, it looks like a few people have got 5 seconds for probably a Delta issue, to be honest, because the safety cars and virtual safety cars, there is a bit of a bug with the game where the deltas are up and down constantly. You can't get it right. So we've seen a few 5 seconds from that, and I've seen a few 5 seconds or 3 seconds for severe collisions as well, so they may be playing into the race as well.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen quite a few severe collisions come up there all in one go. As you could see at the bottom of your screen, it was flashing up. This is not the way that we would have liked to start the race, and it never is, but wow. It is one of them tracks where you've got such a long straight to get going that all cars are absolutely flat out, and I think it's easy to forget that it's different to your qualifying. You can't go in like that. Your car is full of fuel. It's on, you've probably had time to warm up the tyres, granted, but it's so much harder because you've got so much weight in the car to stop it in the same type of speed and time, and you'd be naive to think that you could do that. So ultimately, if people try and take the same braking point, they are going to go that little tiny bit further, and that's all it takes ultimately to have a little tap of the car in front, or the slightest of little touches, and things can go wrong pretty quickly, certainly at high speeds, and try to control from high speeds. So it's academy, we encourage learning in the academy. We encourage close racing, which we have got so far already. Race 1 was incredible, by the way. The standard was absolutely amazing in parts, and it was just a joy to be even a part of, just to watch it. I'd have quite easily been happy to not say a thing and just sit and watch that race in silence. It was amazing. Every single driver right across the board was just battles all over the place, or close racing, respect given, very fast laps going down. Everyone was clever. Not one single person touched each other before the first race in the formation lap, which was gobsmacking, because that seems to be a formality which we obviously saw again today. There was one. So hopefully we can get the safety car in. It'll have one more lap, I would have thought, with the amount of debris that would have been on track. Realistically, it'll have been a joke. It might be 5 laps by the time they can get enough of the debris off. The amount of wings that we've just seen completely explode into the air. So Lynx, if you could just check on your screen for me the pits, who has currently been in the pit, presumably because they've picked up damage. It's nice to see all the races are still in the race, by the way. There were some huge collisions and huge hits off the wall that inevitably in tiers 3, 2 and 1 you would have seen that be the end of their race, I would have thought, with full damage on it. There was some massive hits. we have a reduced damage in the academy, so that it isn't as highly punishable should you just make a slight error and a little bump off into the car or tap a wall. Then it gives them a fighting chance. We don't want people getting taken out of the race in the first lap, when the whole point of being in the race is to learn how to race and to be involved and to be alongside their fellow drivers in CRL. And of course we have a good bit of banter between the lads in the group, and obviously everybody's looking to improve and move up the tiers, and that's what makes it exciting, I suppose. At the same time, that's what makes people want to keep watching Cone week in, week out, being a part of Cone. We get so many people who are now showing interest in Cone Racing League, and fairly so. We can all you need to do is watch just a few of the streams to prove where Cone Race is and where it's heading. So really excited. Well, I'll be more excited once the safety car comes in.
Yeah, just to go back to what you were saying before with the pits, it looks like Ryan Mills, Mean Man Moody, they got caught up in some of the collisions. We've also have Ralph Bolt and CRL Matt Warner, who seem to have been in but jumped some of the people. And it looks like Sniper Boy Hart PS has went into the pits for an early one. I didn't see him being caught up in any collision.
We can see at the bottom half of the grid currently, Ron Aldinio has dropped 3 spots. Murphy, it says he's gone up, but he hasn't. He was higher up in the order, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember where he qualified, but there's been some massive hits. Ryan Mills, of course, dropping 14 spots. That is going to be an interesting one, Ryan. He last week's 3rd position, he's got it all to do. He has got it all to do. But the safety car has just pulled to the side, and we are away. I'm still on board with Gautier Lefalon at the moment. I'm having a little look at him, seeing if there's anyone else around. We'll keep going down the track and back towards the start. Is everyone alright? Mean Man Moody has joined the session. Hopefully he has got back in his car quickly. I'm really sorry for him if he couldn't be in his car at that point. He's going to suffer a little bit. Can't see. I think we've got off clean this time. Some weaving further up the track, but it looks alright. I'm still on board with Greg's Gaming Centre. I'm going to slide higher up the track now. It looks like we're away proper. Hopefully we're away proper, as Hedgehog has a great little look at the back of Crash Gaming, who's got himself up in the P6 squad. Crash, good start for him. Hedgehog behind him, and JJ Cod Vickers behind him. It looks like there's been a bit of 2 deep drivers there around that corner. You can go deep and get away with it on that corner, by the way, in terms of penalties on this game, as long as you're not going flat out and come straight back on track. You might see that every now and again on that corner. A little bit naughty, but some people know it. So still on board with Hedgehog and keeping my eyes on him. The screen at the moment doesn't tell me how far everyone is away from each other on the left hand side of your screens, so I apologise if there is anybody making a pass as we speak, but we're having a little look at the long straight and I can't see anybody. Here we go back a couple. Ooh, there's a contact there between the two of Reverend Melvin and Greg's Game Centre. Reverend Melvin gets on the inside of Greg's Game Centre and he pulls away quite well, to be fair. Great turn, great pass. Obviously didn't get any problems. Murphy has had a problem. There's contact going into the corner. There's people all over the place. Let's jump on board. Might be able to see a little bit more from the two in front of us. Reverend Melvin and Mishy Joy going into turns 18 side by side. Good take by them two. Mishy just leaving enough, and the same with Reverend Melvin. But Greg's Game Centre in a lovely position. They're sat just behind them on their tails and can have a good look in the track as they go around turn 1. Yes, that is a turn. That is turn 1, and we're going straight down towards turn 2 after the long straight where all of the commotion happened in the first lap, and then again more so around the corner. Reverend really aggressive around that corner, takes it really deep, actually takes it lovely and takes Missy Joy out of the equation, but Missy has a better launch out of that and gets straight back behind him as we're still on board with Greg's. We're going to jump up a couple of positions and have a little look at Ghost Angel 1, and he has JJ Cod Vickers in. Ooh, that was a massive error by Ghost Angel 1. That corner was never there for him to go to. He probably wants to turn out right. Yeah, he's done the right thing. Ooh, he's just trying to... Oh, that's going to burn the tyres. He's had better days. That's not how he would have liked to start. Is there anything else going on that I'm missing?
Maybe just that Hedgehog is in a really good position there as the top driver on the medium tires, just trying to be very close here to the soft runners at the moment. Very strong performance from Renault until the unfortunate spin from Ghost on the curb. Yes, this is probably the biggest update I can give at the moment.
So I'm back on board with Jay Wills, who's jumped up from P3 to take the lead in this race. Free Fall just in behind him, Piero just in behind him. And then we have Big Ben. So the top four that we thought would be the top four just have had a bit of a jumble around, that's all. MUC Harvey, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. You do not want that at this stage in the race. We're only 6 laps through 27. There is a long way to go. That can go.
Jojo is making a move on to his teammate in the Renault. Rathbold is not able to make it up, and Greg is actually getting very close as well, just behind the two Red Bull drivers.
Rathbold's going for another overtake back on Mishi Joy. He goes for the round the outside, but he doesn't manage it, and Mishi has the better line in there, although he's took that a little bit deep. The pair of them have took it a little bit deep. He might actually get a penalty for that. No, he didn't. We're not on board with Ghost Angel 1, but he has got a penalty. These two in the Red Bull very close to each other. He's going deep on quite a few of the Rathbold. Don't dive your teammate, please. Think this through, boys. Think this through. You're the only person on the track that you don't want to be in the way of. Maybe they give himself a bit of respect. Ooh, as we see, there is plenty fishing around behind them. Greg's Game Centre in there like swimwear just behind him. We didn't see the 4 cars that are all following him. My apologies. That's Murphy, Sniper Hat, PS, Ryan Mills in behind him. All have a good look at passing each other. So there's a great little battle going on back here. I wish the board on the left-hand side would tell me the intervals, though, so I could have a clue of who is close and who is not. That looks like there's a little battle going on there. That's JJ Codvickers.
So close, absolutely. So many battles going on, and just Murphy tapping the back of Mishi Jojo. Unfortunate, but Ryan Mills overtaking Murphy here very, very quick. The difference in the tires they are visually to follow while Murphy is going into the pit lane, trying to make an earlier stop than his rivals around him. And while I'm talking about rivals, Mishi Joy and Ryan are just battling. What's happening, Danny?
Sorry, I was just on board with JJ Codvickers. He went for the inside line against Hedgehog. Hedgehog was stuck to his lines, of course. He's on the mediums, Codvickers on the soft, so he had a good look and he knew what he wanted to do. I'm just going to quickly jump higher up because the 4 at the front are having an absolute tangle in between them all. That's Free Fall in P3, looking for Piero. Piero shuts the door on the outside. Nothing wrong with that. Decides nice and early, and we see Big Ben goes a little bit deep. Of course, all of them open their wings in unison. Like a flock of birds, they all copying each other to try and get the launch on the straight, and of course nobody makes it pass full stop. Piero with probably the only real chance using the slipstone on J Wills, just one J Wills. I stuttered, it wasn't his name. So they're going round.
Big Ben overtaking Free Fall here in Sector 3 around the outside, but Free Fall is going back on Big Ben side by side into the penultimate turn in Russia. Big Ben is going a little bit wide. He has a penalty. I'm not too sure if he did have it already before, but that was some good battling here going on. Now Free Fall activating his overtake and DRS. At the meantime, Ben is doing the same, and the leader Piero and Jay Wills, both more ERS than the 2 people behind him. So very, very exciting to watch the battles at the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Piero just made the move done on Jay Wills on the straight and is currently our leader around Sochi, lap 8. I'll flick over to another battle. It looks like it's happening for PA. MUC Harvey has a little look at Hedgehog in front of him. Free Fall in 4th is half a second behind Big Ben, who is just over half a second behind Jay Wills, who's just over half a second behind Piero. So the front 4 having a lovely battle. Gottila Fallon has got a little bit of a look at them. He's trying to catch them, but he's going to have a bit to do, considering these 4 seem to be on fire compared to the rest of the pack. So we're still looking at MUC Harvey, who's going to get a chance now at looking at Hedgehog. Don't think he had the launch that he wanted to. He's got the DRS, he's got his overtake on. He's just about to run out of VRS, and I don't think he's going to run... Well, I think he's going to run out of road as well. And he does, going into turn 13, has to brake hard, goes on a wide line, and that's going to cost him time against Hedgehog, and he'll get away, you would imagine, from there. He needs to be careful. He'll end up spinning. MUC Harvey needs to be very careful, because Reverend Melvin is on his inside, and he clearly has a little bit more grip. Ooh, doesn't leave him a lot of space. He needs to hook the inside there on the mediums, but MUFC Harvey is on the mediums, obviously he's playing a little bit of a different strategy. You wouldn't expect him to have the pace, but of course later on the track is a well acclimatised, lovely bit of heat in the track. You jump onto softs, got loads of pace, not a great deal of fuel in the car. It's going to be a very, very interesting finish, and whether strategy is going to play a part today, we don't know. Is everybody still on the one stop? Is anybody looking like they're going to go two stops? If we could have one of you maybe have a little look at the strategy.
Yes, just having a look through the people who pitted already, and the top runner who pitted is Rough Bolt, currently on the soft compound tires. Let's have a look at what the tires sets are on the track, if I can get it to work. There we go. Ryan Mills did two stops already, following the two driver, following Matt Warner as well on one stop, currently in P14, P15.
Okay. Forgive me a second, I was just adjusting some on my screen to turn the engine noises up a little bit more. I don't know if that's been requested or not, but I've just realised that... Ooh, Big Ben tries to come into the pits for his first pit stop. He contacts the wall. Is that going to damage his wing? Not too sure. Free Fall does the same, and he follows him in for the Alfa Romeo. Lynx, can you update us what is going on in the chat? Is there any chat going down? What's the crack?
Chat at the moment's looking pretty calm. We've had a few people comment now about the top four and about the few battles out on track. It is absolutely amazing at the moment. We've also had a few people going on about back when we had the safety car, how people stayed out in softs.
I'm sorry to butt in. We have just seen a big collision. Rathbo hit the side of the fence going into turn 2. JJ Codvick, as he came into contact with, that will have been a big hit on the front, and he's going to struggle to get downforce now. Rathbo again, please. Steiny, if you would have a little look at when he has pitted. He's just done a lovely little overtake on Sniper Boy that seemed to just dive himself in there in the Williams. Fair play to the lad. It was a lovely little move, but he's overshot the mark and not quite got it done. But he's got the softs. That might come in nice and handy if he's in fresh softs.
Yes, he does indeed, and I think he pitted straight away when the safety car came out, just be on advantage on the tires. I'm not 100% sure if soft tires would have been the one to go. It's a long race. You maybe want to try to go on a different set of tires, but maybe trying the medium or the hard tires later. Rathbold currently on the soft tires.
Yeah, I've just seen Jay Wills has stayed out at the front of the pack at the moment, and Piero just diving into the pits. Piero had one more lap of those softs, and Jay Wills thinks that feels that he's still got quite a bit of grip in these tyres in his softs, and he's going to try and get an extra lap. I mean, I can see why. He's obviously got the fresher mediums for the rest of the race, but 1 lap, 2 lap, the difference in that may not be that grand, but you never know. But yeah, he certainly feels like he's still got the pace in those red tyres, the red wall tyres, the soft compound, and he clearly feels that in his Mercedes he has used them quite well, and he's going to go for an extra lap. You would think that he'd come in at the end of this lap, however. So we're going to have a little look further down. We've got Crash Gamer, who's got himself into P4. Well done, Crash. He has really stepped up his game today, which is lovely to see. He's in P4, so well done, Crash. Going well. He's got a second in hand to Hedgehog, who can't get inside that second, which is a good sign. He is trying to catch Reverend Melvin, who he seems to have popped up a few times, Reverend Melvin, in this race already, and seems to be really going for it. So that'll be fair play when we started in P17. No, he's up 17 places in P3. So he was last. Was he last? I didn't think he was that far back, but if he is, then he's having a worldie. So we'll see what he can do with his race. Definitely fair play for the lad. Go and have a little look around, see what's going on. Yeah, what can you see, Stein?
Yes, Freefall was able to overtake Ben on both outlaps. It's very crucial at the moment. He's going around the inside in sector 3. I think it was turn 13, if I'm not mistaken. 4 cars all together. Very, very close battles here. So Puro's actually diving into the to the Ferraris from Ryan Mills. Everything's so close together. What a race at the moment. But we have a virtual safety car. A virtual safety car.
Oh, it's the Red Bull.
What happened? It's the Red Bull.
It's the Red Bull in turn 6, just after turn 6 by the look of it. Is it Raf Bo? No, it's not. So it's
Joy.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Race over. All right. Okay. So he's lost it on turn 6, and we have a virtual safety car. Thankfully, in turn 6, it is on the lateral side of the track. It looks like he's crashed, so they obviously deemed that to not need the full safety car. All of the cars are going to be abiding around a certain track delta at the moment, so I have to slow their pace down a little bit, but everybody abides by the same rules. Sometimes, by the way, you can actually make a little bit on people that are just caught a little bit sleepy on this. Some people sit right back so that they don't get cautioned, because that's quite easily to happen as well if you
something happened,
brake hard or something like that.
Something happened in sector 1. I think Matt Warner just lost it there just at the end of the virtual safety car, and Gautier Le Fallon.
Gautier Le Fallon.
Gautier Le Fallon.
Beautiful.
That's probably the one I'm supposed to pronounce it. I was great in French in school, so...
to be honest with you, it's probably from Leeds. It'd be like Le Felon.
Oh, Le Felon.
Gautier Le Felon.
Wow, you never stop learning, do you? But just giving a small update, Jay Wills looking very promising at the moment. He was able to stay out of all the battles and has a comfort lead in front of his main rivals Piero, Ben and Freefall. Stopped as well already. The top runner who pitted already.
He's pardon me. He's in a good place, Jay Wills, without a shadow of a doubt. Let's have a little look anyway. We'll bring it up
Piero's
on the screen so people
move,
can
maybe?
see
on Greg.
See what's going on the right hand side. So there, all the people that have made a stop. As you'll see, Jay Wills has already made his stop. Sorry. So he is really our first position, let's say. Jay Wills, Piero, Big Ben, and Freefall still effectively the top 4 once these natural pits have taken place. Rafbo with 2 already. So obviously he's not having a good time. Roraldinho has just got a. Did he just get a corner cut? Oh, they are racing again. Sorry, yeah. He's just got a corner cut. Current tyres, we're looking at Reverend Melvin and Crash still on their softs, and the rest of the whole pack on mediums now. Roraldinho went on hards because he had to pit early doors, so he's 7 laps through on the hards. He might actually dive in still and put some softs on for a quick finish. Maybe that's what I would do. Ghost Angel 1 and Matt Warner in the session. Meanwhile, Moody has left the session.
I've texted with him already. He seems to have issues with reconnecting. Keep getting disconnected, so very, very unfortunate for him. I think that happened because he rejoined during the formation lap. Still very, very annoying what we experience here with the game. Sometimes the bugs is the last thing you want to fight with during a very, very important race at the beginning of the season 4. But at the meantime, Ben and Freefall are just fighting all the time. Greg's as well. Gaming Center is just trying to defend on Freefall side by side into the penultimate turn here, but Greg was able to defend his position, and Ben was able to get another penalty. Very, very high penalties. Have 14 seconds, and Freefall is making another move on Greg's Gaming Center into turn number 1, braking early. Greg is trying to defend, going a bit wide. Is he getting any penalty? He does not. He is already on 13 seconds, but Freefall taking the of this trio. With Ben being side by side, it's close. I didn't even realize that Ben was going for it. Greg is being pushed wide, and fair battles, I assume. I can't really judge from this perspective, and he has to defend again against the Ferrari Ryan Mills. Gregs is absolutely fighting for his position currently.
Yeah, Ryan's done well from his obviously start. He's had his problems today, but now he's obviously on the mediums and he's got nothing but the guys in front of him to sort of make his mark. Now he could get up to 5 quite quickly if he could put a bit of a stand down there, because he's less than a second behind the pair of them. And now with DRS, he's going to have a little look. Will he get a chance to get by Greggs? Not sure that he's going to do it on this straight, if I'm being honest. No, he comes up to turn 13 and 14 under the bridge, 15. So he's not going to get it done. They'll probably stay in single file until they get back round to the DRS. Ooh, hush my mouth. He's actually had a little look and gone for it there, Ryan Mills. That will have probably cost him more time than it gained him, but fair play. I don't think it was on personally. But he's just about to be right up the back of Greg's Game Centre, going onto the straight with DRS. I think this might be the time he gets it done. Let's jump on board. Oh, I don't know, you know.
I don't know. Both have a lot of ERS here and DRS as well. You might want to deactivate it straight away because there's no point of wasting so much energy. It's more important for later on in the race. Both on... actually, Greg has more ERS, saved over 60%, and Ryan Mills has 40 at this point. So it's crucial to use the ERS as Lynx already described at the beginning.
So just on board with Ryan Mills currently. I'm still having a little look at him. He's only 0.3 or 3/10 of a second currently behind Greg's Game Centre in P7. A pair of them have the soft tyres on. Gautier left along. As unfortunately got a 3-second time penalty for Motor 1. So you can see a lot of the grid have got penalties. Ryan Mills has not. And we're currently on board with him. He is getting closer. He can smell the carbon fibre now in front of him. He's just having a little look. Is he? Oh, it's 3 wide. No. Careful, boys.
They're battling. Ryan Mills is diving in the inside on Greg, but still great defending here from Greg's game setter.
No, sorry, he was going to have another little go of him there. I was just about to yelp because I thought he was going to have another try. I was more willing him to not, just to hang on a second until he got to the start, so I apologise for interrupting while you were speaking there.
That is all right, not a problem at all. It's very, very unexpected here to see what's happening. Greg's is weaving around a lot here. This might be a bit too dangerous, but who was this actually who made the move? That is Gautier again.
Ooh,
again, a lot of battling.
That's his own partner. Gautier Lefalon has just tapped the Haas of Greg's Game Centre, so the two Haasses have come into contact. Is there any damage? It looked like it was wheel to wheel for me, and you can see just in behind there Ryan Mills and Gautier having a good old look at each other as well. Ryan Mills knocking on the door big time now, isn't he? He certainly fancies himself to get by these, but it's a tough track to get by people at times. The door can close quick, and if they slope right before a straight, sometimes you just can't get it done. Of course, when you're in dirty air following a car behind as well, there is reduced downforce when you're in another car's turbulence. Of course, just like a plane, it will affect the natural flow of air that hits the front of the wing and ultimately the handling of the car, and that can cause problems around the corner. So all you need to do is lose balance the tiniest little bit really, and off you pop, especially if you don't have your traction control on the car, which I know a lot of drivers in higher levels and higher tiers sometimes don't use, because inevitably you are quicker without it, but in the academy we would expect that most do have the traction control at least medium, because it's a tough old ask. I'm just looking there, is that Ghost Angel 1's Ghost? Yes, it is. That's fine, yeah. Sorry, I was getting a bit confused with what was going on, because we've got Jay Wills. He is away with it at the moment. He's 7 seconds clear to Hedgehog in second. Absolutely flying. Piero probably his nearest competitor. How many laps is Hedgehog on? Is he due to pit, or is he staying out now?
Hedgehog,
I think he's due to pit.
Having a quick look, but we have a virtual safety car again. Hedgehog needs to pit. This is the perfect opportunity. He is a little bit far away. It depends on how long the safety car is actually staying out here.
It's Ryan Mills. Oh no, it's Ryan Mills. Oh no, I've just realised who that is. It's actually lost it. We're just going to jump on the Mercedes and have a little look at where he is. He's parked up on the left-hand side of the track. That's oh no, I've done that. Ryan, I know exactly what you've done. Coming out of turn 2, if he's caught the curb at all, it might have just unbalanced the car. And as it unbalances the car, it can sometimes turn the nose in left, and you can just lose it and start. If you put the your foot down too early, it just rocks the car and sends it left on that turn because you've got a slight left-hander again. It's sort of right, and then it like cuts in a little bit, so you start the left. It's easier seen than explained, but I'm pretty sure that that's what he's probably done. Faced left off that turn and hit the corner, going at pace, and he is out the race. That is last week's 3rd position, Ryan Mills, who we've just been talking about, absolutely flying. Maybe got a little bit impatient with the drivers in front of him, and off he lost. I did actually explain about the lack of downforce, so I wonder if he was actually quite close to the car in front. We don't know. Hedgehog does the pit now, as you would expect. How many places is he going to lose? We'll see where he comes back out. But J. Will's currently winning, and currently our leader, Piero, in 2nd. Pardon me, Free Fall in 3rd, who were just having a little look. What's going on there?
Well, he not only a little look, he's diving. Well, he's battling on the inside for turn number 1 with Piero, but Piero is making the move back on the outside. Very fair racing, battling between them two. Still trying to catch J. Wills, but it looks like that the battles that we do on the track is not really helping anyone to come closer to J. Wills. However, it's very crucial for Freefall to try to battle and get in front of Piero and get rid of those 3 seconds and stay ahead of Piero until the end of the race. So, unexpected from P1 currently in P3 Freefall. We have J. Wills and now all the way up into P1, but as I was talking, Freefall again overtook Piero. Piero though has much more ERS, so it will be very, very difficult for Freefall to get rid of those 3 seconds and stay ahead 3 seconds while finishing the checkered flag.
I mean, you can't help but think that all of this is doing though is just making J. Wills' advantage greater. You know, the pair of these have had a little bit of a tussle, had a little look at each other and just considered track position, going into places that you wouldn't necessarily stay on the racing line, which causes you time. And ultimately he was 7 seconds behind before. He's now 8.5, so that's another second and a half that J. Wills has gone clear in this race with 8 laps to go. Is it done? He keeps increasing his margin at the front, the J. Wills in the Mercedes. He didn't have the race that we thought he maybe would have had. He come into problems late on in the race, if I remember. Was it J. Wills that hit the curb of death last week? I can't remember if it was. I think it might have been.
Sure.
It was the wall of death, and we were on board with him as he hit the wall. And I think he dropped because he had to pit, but he was right at the top of the affairs at the time, and he dropped down to P8. I think that's where he finished. So, well, in fact, I don't think that's where he finished. I know he finished P8. I've got it written down in front of me, but I don't know if that was where he'd come back out or whether he'd wrestled himself back up. But I know he got into problems. Lynx, a little bit of your input. What how are you seeing this race as it unfolds in front of us? What's your predictions from here till the end? The last 9 laps. 8.
The front runners, they're staying out. It looks like they are staying out on the one stop now, and the midfield may be a bit weird with all the penalties going on over there. Only I think you and definitely the drivers can see who has what in terms of penalties. There's a few. There's Mean Man Moody who managed to be pretty clean down there, though. He might jump quite a few positions.
Yeah, Mean Man Moody was curtains at one point. Did he get back in? Because I saw him leave. No, he's ghosted. Mean Man Moody, unfortunately, he didn't.
It's only his II doing it then.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. He is currently under the control of artificial intel. I think. Let's see him take this next turn, and I'll be able to tell you. Yeah, he is.
It could just be
yes, he is, because Sniper Boys just drove straight through him and goes into P15. But yeah, it does look like, because of the juddering around of the hands in the steering wheel, it looks like input. I don't know. I don't want to say just in case it actually isn't. I can't really tell. So I'm going to jump up anyway, because Crash Gaming has just seen MUFC Harvey go past him. Hedgehog is close with... what's going on? I can't see where he is. Reverend Melvin on his inside of turn 1, 2, 3 and 4. 3, 4 is just all one turn left as we pass the plaza. It looks like Hedgehog's going to get his nose just in front of Reverend Melvin. You can see in the distance there MFC Harvey and Crash just behind him as well. Crash came in P8. Go on, Crash. Keep on going. See if you can get yourself into the top 10 this week. Of course, as we mentioned last week, there are 15 places that get points now in the CRL. Of course, Piero last week was our first ever 40-point winner because he won the race last week. So interesting times. Certainly a lot more to play for now that every position really does make a difference. And of course, you see Ryan Mill's name at the bottom there. It's so tragic that we shouldn't be looking at his name out of the session, but he is. We'll look at a massive. There's some lovely racing in behind. MFC Harvey trying to protect his spot against Reverend Melvin. We've got a lovely little view from the back of the Renault of Hedgehog 11. The pair of them again going and fighting for it. MFC Harvey gets the better turn into turn. I can't remember, 16 I think it is, 17, 18, yeah I am right, and then they're coming around.
Yeah, it should be 16.
Yeah, 18 and the final corner of 19 and spaced themselves out, but it looks like Hedgehog might have got a decent enough launch there to protect what he's got. Yeah, he has. MFC Harvey is over a second behind, but Reverend Melvin has DRS open, has a look at MFC Harvey. Is this just, he hasn't got much ERS, and I don't think he's going to get the turn done. He isn't going to get the overtake done, into turn 2. Well, easy into turn 3. Big Ben, currently our P4, and he's 7 seconds behind P3 of Piero. He's getting penalties. That's not looking good.
Just giving a small update regarding penalties. I was able to have a look at the entire penalty board and calculate every single second together, and currently we are on 124 seconds of penalty on the track from every single driver together. And I also saw at one point that we had 4 drive-through penalties at the same time for multiple drivers on the track. So Russia, as promised, is a penalty fighting track, and Modi actually is doing very well without driving himself on the track, not getting any penalties. The AI is perfectly written for this game. But jokes aside, Jay Wills and Piero and also Hedgehog, the only driver on the track who are controlling their own car, not having a penalty for now.
So just on board with Piero, he is less than a second behind Freefall in P2, having a little look around the long sweeping 3 and 4 into his turn 5 and towards turn 6. The Bolshoi ice dome on the inside, you can just see inside your picture there, heading towards the light of turn 7, flat turn 8, and then 9 and 10 very, very close towards each other. Fast turn, you want to take as much of that corner as you can, really try and keep your pace. I try and keep in 5th personally. Don't know how you take that, but I try and keep as high a gear as possible as this, because you want to get your toe down as fast as possible, but I don't think he's going to be close enough, despite having DRS, to do anything with Freefall on this, who is clearly not even bothering open he's going to try and save a little bit. Piero, and of course he needs to save because he has used a lot of his ERS, and it would argue that if Piero can get close enough and has a good look at him, this could change. 5 laps to go. The 8.5 seconds of Jay Wills has dropped to 7.8 seconds, and at that amount of difference per lap, he will still be probably 5 seconds plus by the last lap, even if it's to catch him by the exact same every lap. But of course, Freefall has penalties, so Piero doesn't need to be past him, he just needs to be clean, and he has guaranteed himself into P2. It's Hedgehog that really needs to be push, and see if he can get that down a little bit from 17 seconds behind, but it's a big ask. He's already done it a little bit there. Looking around the track, though, they are certainly starting to spread themselves about. Crash Gaming, I think, is the closest to Raph Bull in the Red Bull in P8, or Crash Gaming in P9. He's going to have a little look, and if he is inside or keeps inside that 1 second, he's going to get access to DRS. And he does get access to DRS, and he's going to have a little go at Rathball. So I would imagine, as he has done, he's opened up his ERS, he's going on overtake, and he's opened his DRS, and he's just going to try and get a little bit closer to him. I don't think he's bothered about passing him there, to be perfectly honest. It was never really on the cards. Piero, we're going to jump on board with the McLaren. He's having a little look at the Alfa Romeo in front of him. A free fall 75. These two, P1, P2 last week, finished the race P1, P2. And qualified P1, P2. So these two are serious contenders in the league this year, clearly. If they don't get a premature bump up, of course. If we find that they may be leading it by too much and there's a clear gap, then sometimes we can amend. But look, at the moment they can only race the race that they're racing. They've only got control over it, and we can see that Jay Wills has quicker pace still, and has been frightening today. So all playing for these top four are having a great jostle at the top of this race. Further down, Rathbone P8, he's having a little look. Reverend Melvin in front of him. Reverend Melvin is not in his car. The AI is controlling.
Just had
Reverend
to
Melvin.
quickly re-invite him. He rejoined as well straight away. Perfect to see him back on track, currently in P7, but there's some action going on with Rathbold.
Yeah, it's Reverend. Rathbold's just got by, and unfortunately this is damaging to Reverend, because Crash Gaming has also had a little look at him and put himself into P8. So Reverend, get back in that car, or he might see himself further down the points. And there he is, and pops up on our screen at the time. And of course, he's going to now click that he's got it all to do again. But Foot is now down. Three laps in this race to go. All of the intervals have disappeared on my left-hand side as per.
Same, yeah.
So I'm going to have a little look elsewhere on the track. So intervals, nothing works. Fastest laps currently Mean Man Moody with a 1:33.3. That's 3 seconds quicker than anybody else on the track, and shows you what AI does in this game. If you're on the right tyres, it'll blitz everybody. It's not good, and of course he won't get the fastest lap. So the fastest lap proper, I believe, is Reverend Melvin with a 1:33.4, but we've just seen him also AI'd, which I think that might have been the AI too, considering it's only 10th outside of it. So let's have a little look at Gautier Le Fallon. Free Fall's got it with a 1:35.7. I'm about 3/4 sure I'm right, but I might not be. Who knows? Anything else to report on or going on?
I was looking in chat, Lynx. Any changes?
Yeah, is there anything being quoted on? Is there anything I need to know coming from the chat?
There's not very much. We've got McConey from Tier 3 pushing on Jay Wills to finish this race now. Obviously spinning out of first place last time round. I think he was on a similar lap as well. So hopefully he can bring it home and get that win again today.
So I think I was right. I think Jay Wills was the one that hit the curb of death, turn 12. I think it's turn 12. I always get that right. I think I'm right. Round Bahrain. But the inside of the curb is where he lost it and hit the wall on the right-hand side, if I remember rightly. And I think it was Jay Wills, because that's why he ended up in P8, and he was scrapping up at the top for the rest of the race. So yeah, I think that was what went down. Just have a little look at the tyres there. Hedgehog and MUFC Harvey on 6 laps and 8 laps on softs in 5th and 6th. And basically the rest of the top 10 all on mediums, bar Ronaldinho, who is scrapping away. Reverend Melvin gets a little bit closer to Crash. Is there some changes and chinks in the armour yet? Is something going to go down? Who knows? We're going to have a little look around the track and see if there is anything going down. Crash Gaming has got a little look on Rathbo. I think he gets a better launch and he gets this done this time. He hasn't got any ERS. Rathbo's just weaving around the track a little bit. He's going to really be side by side going into that corner. I think Crash has done the right thing. He's broke hard. He did try and leave him a little bit more space, and did, but I think it cost him a bit of time, to be honest. He could have probably kept that rolling through that turn and didn't quite manage it. He's going into turn 16 now, and they're going to contact. It's all close there. Crash Gaming has been very, very polite. I think Rathbo took a little bit of the corner. Again, he should have just followed the racing line on that occasion, though he was never going to get by. Rathbo got the job done and stayed in front. He just wanted to concentrate on the launch there, because that would have given him a chance, but unfortunately he's not got the best launch ever. Reverend Melvin he's not going to have DRS. He wasn't inside that, and Crash will, so he's going to be able to pull away and get as close to Rathbo. So the fight between 7th, 8th and 9th all absolutely heating up, with 1 lap still to go after this one, as Jay Wills is on the DRS straight of the straight of 11, 12 turns 13, just going into Sector 3 at the end of Sector 2, underneath the bridge, takes the 15th turn, going towards 16. You can see in front of him, he's got some people in front of him, Jay Wills, but they are obviously back markers. Free fall in P2, also coming round, turn 17. Can see in front of him that 5 seconds of Jay Wills. Is it going to be too much? It's come down from 8.5 to 5. It's coming down, but there's no way that it's going to get done on one lap, in fairness to 5 seconds, because we are on the final lap of the Russia Grand Prix in Sochi, if you can believe it. Joined tonight by Lynx, Aviate and Steiny. Steinschlag, Steiny 001, aka.
AKA continue.
Have you got more? Have you got more aliases that you go by? Alii, let's call them.
Oh, yeah, Kleinstein is the term. It's a Pokemon.
Kleinstein?
Like the small star. However, that is something not very important, to be fair, because Jay Wills is celebrating his victory.
Yeah, boy.
If he doesn't do any further mistakes. However, let's get a quick update on some position changes during the entire race. Currently, Reverend Melvin is the person with the most position changes. Currently in P9. Let's have a look with 11 position changes on his side. Having a look at the penalties, he is with a few more penalties than the driver in front, but I think he will be able to finish on P9 as well during the race at the as soon as he's crossing the checkered flag. But you can take us home now with Jay Wills is approaching the last turn.
Just absolutely jumping on board with Jay Wills as he turns around turn 18. He is going to be, as long as he doesn't cut the final corner, which he can take all day to get around, and he does. Jay Wills is our victor in Sochi, race number 2 of the Cone Racing Academy's league on season 4 of the Cone Racing League. And what a race, as Piero is done, free fall is done, and that is your P1, 2 and 3. Big Ben will have to settle for P4 today, probably. I don't know how many penalties he's got with Hedgehog in behind.
23 seconds is
oh
going
my
to be
word,
P5 here.
It is going to be P5, because we're just going to see
got another
Hedgehog.
5 seconds.
Oh wow, Hedgehog, we see finish his lap off. He's going to be in P4 as we see it confirmed. Big Ben in P5 is going to jump one more down. MBFC Harvey snips in there before Rafbo has also got penalties, and I think he's going to be a bit too far back to really challenge Big Ben, or is he? No. So Rafbo takes P7 in the Red Bull. Crash Gaming has got himself into P8. Well done, Crash. He is in himself P8. Roraldinho, better than last week, gets himself in the top 10, and he sells himself into P9. As I speak, Matt Warner slips in there with clearly less penalties and gets himself into P9 instead. Roraldinho with the last of the first 10. Reverend Melvin is still dropping. He's in P11. You would at one point, I honestly thought he would have gone so much better today. He looked like he was flying at one point. Gautier Lefellon, best name in the Cone Racing Academy. He comes in P12. 13, Greg's Gaming. Greg was obviously a reserve. He is in hopefully full time now in the Haas. Is that right? Is he a full time? I'm not sure if he's or not, but I hope he is. Greg's Gaming. He finds himself in the Haas, which is perfecto. So there you go. The games version of Reverend Melvin, or games version of driver of the day, Reverend Melvin. First of all, I will go to Lynx. Lynx, sorry to put you on the spot, my mate. Who have you seen today? Who has been your biggest fancy, your biggest impress, and who is your ultimate driver of the day?
Well, it's got to be said, the Reverend Melvin ended up not qualifying for the entire race, and he's got himself up into the top 10, which is an absolutely amazing job. I know there was a safety car and a few virtual safety cars that really threw some stuff into the mix, but it was absolutely amazing that he kept his head on straight after not qualifying, got into the race just on the formation lap and managed to put it in.
Perfect, thank you very much, Lynx. Yeah, fair comment. You can just see on the right-hand side of your screen there the state of the penalties, by the way. Yes, I will come to your driver of the way, Dave, but before I do, let me just quickly see that grid in front of us. Jay Wills wins today for Mercedes. He is followed by Piero in P2. Free Fall has to settle for third position today, with Hedgehog in behind him. With what a race by Hedgehog, by the way. Grid position 12th to 4th. He is going to be my personal driver of the day because he was faultless as well without penalty. So fair play to Hedgehog. I thought he was class. Every time I watched him, I thought he did well. MUFC Harvey in P5, Big Ben P6, Raf Bo P7, and then we have to go Crash, Matt Borner, Ronaldinho, Reverend, Gautier El Fallon, Greg's Game Centre, JJ Cod Vickers, Sniper Boy, Murphy has to settle for P16. Just about got through the whole grid. There was one or two. So I'm going to jump to Steiny. Steiny, was there anybody who impressed you there in particular? And if so, did they steal your heart to get driver of the day?
Oh, they absolutely smashed it. They just took my heart out of the place where it was previously and replaced it on a different location. And it was Hedgehog in Renault, because I have to say it is absolutely impressive if you start from P10 and... Wait, where was he starting? He improved... Was he... P10?
Was it P12, P10? I can't remember.
I think he overtook 10 people on track, plus he had not a single second of penalty points. So I think that this is a very impressive drive in Russia here for the second race of season number 4. Hedgehog in the Renault, my driver of the day.
Perfect. Where are we next week?
We are going to Japan. A beautiful track. Sector 1 is absolutely smashing it. If you're not a big fan, then Sector 1 is a absolute nightmare. But as soon as you're getting the line down, it is an absolute pleasure to drive in Japan. Plus, of course, the long straight where you can have a good opportunity for another overtake. So very, very exciting for next week.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to end things there. Thank you very much for tuning in as usual, and all of the chat inside the YouTube channel. Come and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, wherever you fancy to come and say hello. If you are interested in getting involved, of course, drop us a message. However you would like to get involved, drop us a message. Come and have a chat, and we can introduce you to some of our drivers without a shadow of a doubt. And there is levels for absolutely everybody at CRL, so please get yourself down. So we will see you next week in Japan. That was race 2 in Sochi. Thank you firstly very much to our newcomer, Mr. Lynx Aviate.
Thank you very much. It has been an absolute honour to actually commentate this race today. Absolutely amazing job by everyone.
Thank you very much. And of course, Mr. Steiny. Did you enjoy that, mate?
Oh, of course. It was an absolute pleasure. And doing a commentary here with 3 people now, it was a lot of fun. So as well, thank you from my side, from towards Lynx. And I'm looking forward to do another commentary race next week in Japan. Thank you very much, guys. I will see you all next week.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you so much. So thank you finally one last time to Lynx, and one last time to Steiny, and one last time to everybody who has watched this evening. We shall see you next week, 8 o'clock. Do not be late.